Now, as people continue to flee Ukraine, some have already arrived in Canada, even right here in the GTA. Joining us live right now is Tatiana Sunak, who is a school principal in Kyiv, who is sharing her journey after fleeing and arriving here to Mississauga. Good morning to you, Tatiana.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining. Let's go through some of your history before, because you worked with the Toronto District School Board back in 1993, so early 90s, but you went back to Kyiv. So tell me about your experience being there and coming back again.
So I moved to Canada in 1993, and since 99 worked for TDSB, and since 2007 worked as vice principal for Toronto District School Board. Last year, I was offered the job at private school in Kyiv as a principal, and of course, it's a beautiful school. It's one of the 100 most innovative schools in the world. So of course I took the position. It was a great opportunity for me. So I moved to Ukraine last year after being in Canada for almost 29 years.
And Tatiana, you're there, I assume with family as well, and then the developments were happening. Tell us about what was going through your head, because as principal at this school, you have colleagues, you have friends, you have family, you have staff members, and everyone was sort of thinking the exact same thing: I need to leave. So what was your process?
Well, Canadian Embassy was telling us there's quite a few Canadians in school who worked, because we offer Ukrainian Canadian diploma for our students. So we had a number of Canadian teachers. So they left a couple weeks ago. I did not, as many of the teachers and the owners of the school did not believe that invasion could happen. So, and of course, to support my teachers and my students, I stayed till last minute. But when I woke up Thursday morning from bomb explosions, I realized it's time to go. I have to go back to my family, because my family was going crazy. My family was worried to death. My mom didn't sleep for a week before that happened. So I decided that I have to leave. So I found a ride to west part of Ukraine through my best friend who lives in Borislav, which is west part of Ukraine. And then I decided to cross the border. And that was another painful journey, because it took me 24 hours since I started walking, because I could only get 24 kilometers to the border. So I had to walk 24 kilometers to get to the border, and then wait long hours in a crowd trying to get through one checkpoint, then through the customs, and then through Polish customs.
Tatiana, those videos and pictures are provided by you, so thank you for sharing those with us. Can you explain what it was like being in those lines? Who was in those lines? Because there were a lot of the vulnerable population as well, and standing there for hours and walking as you did to try to get to safety.
As you saw in the videos, there's a lot of mixed people there. So you will see some international people, international students mostly, who are trying to escape, because again, they did not have chance to escape earlier. You will see most Ukrainian men are not allowed to leave. It's only international citizens or people, or females and kids. So you also see a lot of females with little kids. There are some females with the kids 2 months, 3 months old. And it was very difficult for them to get through, because other people were trying to push their way through the border, through the customs. You see how crowded it is. It was so crowded that if you get in a line closer to the gate, you cannot get out. You cannot leave. You cannot go you cannot go pee. So I was standing first line for 9 hours, like a sardine in a can. You could not move there. And then when you get through the first gate, then you will see we had a little break, and you saw there was people standing in a normal line, in a proper line. But then when they got closer to customs, everybody had to tunnel from the big line of like 30 people to 2 people. And that made it crazy again. People start pushing and people start becoming very angry. They didn't care about little kids. So at some point, I had to hold with my body the crowd behind me so I can let the females with little kids go through. And it was terrifying. I
It's
was terrified of those kids being killed because it was so crowded and they didn't care about anything. And I understand their feeling. I understand that they wanted to escape. Their life is important to them as anybody else's life. But again, it was terrifying. The females' mothers were crying and screaming and begging, let us go through because you're killing my baby, you are squishing my baby. They were leaving everything behind, strollers, suitcases. They were leaving everything behind just to get through those gates.
Indeed, there's it's frantic. There's desperation, and it is hard to even imagine what everyone has and is going through right now, Tatiana. Before I let you go, I just want to ask, because you have so many connections still in Ukraine and a lot of people who are not able to leave, have you been in contact, and what has their process been like in trying to flee?
Well, we are trying to still to locate our teachers. In our school, we have 118 teachers. We located not most of them. We still haven't located 30 teachers of our school. We don't know where they are, if they're alive or not. Some, there's only there's a small number of teachers who actually left Kyiv. The rest are still either in Kyiv or in Ukraine. They cannot leave because of parents or other responsibilities. And they're devastated. Like I had a short meeting with my team, and 2 VPs could not connect. One VP connected, but in the middle of the meeting, she had to run downstairs because of the sirens. And she was in tears. Even so, she was trying to keep herself and hold herself. And she is doing everything to support the workers and everybody else. But it's hard.
Yeah.
It's difficult. It's devastating.
That is an understatement, all of that, in just the situation that everyone is in right now. Tatiana, I wish we had more time to chat with you, but I appreciate you taking the time. Very thankful that you are here in Mississauga, safe, and we pray for all of your colleagues and family and friends who are still at home. Thank you. And please do, I encourage everyone to go to our website, toronto.citynews.ca. If you're looking for a way to help, there are many organizations that you can donate to.